Salut tout le monde, bienvenue pour un nouveau tuto. Donc un tuto pour comment stream sur YouTube. On va dégager ça, voilà. Donc comment stream sur YouTube avec XSplit, qui est d'ailleurs le mieux pour stream sur YouTube, hein, le meilleur logiciel. Donc je vous conseille de le craquer pour avoir toutes les options de débloquer, ou sinon il faut payer. On peut avoir aussi la version normale sans payer. Mais on a beaucoup d'options qui sont pas dedans. Donc, essayez de le craquer pour avoir toutes les options de débloquer, ou sinon il faut payer. On peut avoir aussi la version normale sans payer, mais on a beaucoup d'options qui sont pas dedans. Donc, essayez de le craquer pour avoir toutes les options de débloquer, ou sinon il faut payer. On peut avoir aussi la version normale sans payer. Mais on a beaucoup d'options qui sont pas c'est ce qu'on voit ici, donc mon bureau, quoi, ici. Donc je vais pas vous apprendre à configurer tout ça. Si vous voulez un tuto pour ça, ben, je le ferai. Là, c'est surtout pour comment stream sur YouTube. Parce que j'ai pas vu beaucoup de tutos, j'en ai vu un et puis il était assez mal expliqué, donc je me suis dit que j'allais en faire un et puis on m'avait demandé plusieurs fois. Alors déjà pour pouvoir stream, il me semble, avant il fallait être partenaire avant. Maintenant je pense plus que c'est comme ça. Maintenant il me semble qu'au bout de 100 ou 200 abonnés c'est débloqué. Je suis pas sûr, allez voir de toute façon. Si vous pouvez stream sur YouTube. Ensuite, les autres conditions, c'est qu'il faut une assez bonne connexion. Donc vous allez faire un speed test. Je pense que je mettrai le lien dans la description. Vous faites le test de votre connexion. Donc, ça nous importe pour pouvoir stream c'est longtemps. Donc, c'est l'upload, il nous faut entre 1 méga pour stream sur YouTube. Pour stream dans de bonnes conditions. Entre 900 et 1 méga, on va dire, pour stream dans de bonnes conditions. En dessous de 900, ça va pas marcher. Il faudra stream sur d'autres plateformes comme Twitch TV ou Dailymotion qui sont optimisés pour les...
Varieties, what is the meaning of the word variety? Variety is used in two senses, two meanings. First of all, variety means dialect. Scottish English is a variety of English. Welsh English is a variety of English. And the other meaning, it is types of register. When I talk about the variety, scientific register, the register of law, the language of sports, the language of journalism, all this is a variety again. Right. The first meaning is not that important to us now. What's important is the other meaning, variety of English, languages related to certain fields. Now I'm going to identify 7 main types of English language are chosen for analysis. In this book, in the book you have, there are 7 types of English language varieties. A stylistic approach is adopted in the analysis. The material is very simple and selected in such a way that it helps you study in your own or with the help of a tutor. You will find the passage.
We're now going to look at how you as a teacher can create an assignment within Google Classroom.
We want to acquaint you.
So to do this, as a teacher, we will click on the plus, and then we will go to create assignment. So what is the title of the assignment?
And appreciating these varieties.
And then you can give a description.
To equip you with the required term, which will help you to.
And then we're going to give it a due date. This is then going to be due by.
October 30th.
We're also going to give it a time of 9 AM.
You know, interpret.
And then save.
How you interpret the text.
Now I want to add the documents that I want them to use. So let's go into Google Drive.
In the introduction, I tell you that
I go into my folder, I need to find the documents, and this is the first one that I want to give them, so I can add that. And what I want them to do, I want the children, I don't want them to view the file. You can use that if you just want to send out a piece of reading. I want all the students to edit this particular document. So I'm going to click Students Can Edit File. I want to add another part of this assignment as well, so I'm going to click on Google Drive again. I'm going to Resources, and I'm going to add this one here. And then I'm going to click Add. Students can edit. Now this second one, I want to add another part to be a collaborative document. Again, I want it to be individual. So I want resources to make a copy, and I'm going to add this one here. Click on make a copy, so the children all get a copy of this, which I'll show you in a second. I want it to be individual. So now we can save this as a draft if we want to, and assign it later. We're going to assign it. So the children, okay, we can see here that 2 people have not done it, and 0 have done it. So let's go through and save this as a draft if we want to. Here is our document. So as a student now, what I need to do is open these documents here. So this is the shared document, so I can click on this and open this up. So this is the collaborative document, so let's follow the instructions. I need to put my name in here. Now what I need to do is open, then I can write my learning in here. Shared document, so I can click on this. If we go to our other student, so this is the collaborative document, so let's refresh the other students. I need to put my name here on this as well. They can see this is a collaborative document. I can type this student's name here. If we go to our other student, and as a student, I can also use the comment feature if I want to. Comment on this. They can see this is a collaborative peer assess. I can type this student's name here. So I can peer assess our fellow students. So I can see here the collaborative document is beginning to comment. So now, back in our classroom, what we want to do is now open the individual document. And here is the option to open. So click on open, and here's what we see here. We can see here it's actually named the document. So once we open it, we can see that Google Classroom automatically name the document with the student's name. And now here's that document is owned by the student. So the student can start writing this. We can see that Google Classroom. Now once they finish their essay, Google now offers this new option at the top that says turn in. So what the student has to do is click on that turn in. It will then take them back to Google Classroom, and they can say, hand in the work. Google now offers this new option at the top that says turn in. So what the student has to do is click on that turn in. It will then take them back to Google Classroom. This is the say hand in and hand in. Now what happens in the background here is the student will now only be given view access to that document. The teacher now has complete edited access. And we can see that by going back to the document. Now what happens in the background is you can see now it is view only, and the students cannot access this document. Now at any time though, the student they unsubmit it, and then give them access to the document and they can edit it again. Just like the other features of announcements and questions, the student can add their own private comment to this, and then the teacher will be able to see that comment. So let's go back to what the teacher now sees. We can see here that one student has actually done the piece of work. So let's click on that student. We can see that student 2 has completed it. We can click into this document by clicking on it. And now as a teacher, I can start commenting on this. That comment will go back to the student, and the student will be able to see that comment. So let's go back to the classroom. I can now grade this by clicking on it. If I want to give it a grade,
guys, Josh with VidPresso here, going to show you how to input a custom RTMP address into VidPresso. First thing we're going to do is over here on Destinations, we're going to click on Exist or RTMP Post. Okay, and then there's a spot for a server URL, custom RTMP address into VidPresso. First thing we're going to do is over here on Destinations, we're going to click on Exist or RTMP Post. Okay, and then there's a spot for a server URL and a stream key. For the sake of today's demonstration, we're going to use YouTube. So I'm going to go grab this server URL and copy that and paste it into the server URL field. Next, we're going to get the stream key. I'm going to grab the stream key, copy that, and paste that in right there. And then we'll hit save. So once it's saved, you're ready to start your stream. So we'll hit start, and then we wait for preparing. Save and begin your stream. And it says we're live. Now with custom addresses, it really depends on the server you're streaming to when it actually goes live. So we're going to go over to our YouTube page and wait for this to come live. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you how to input a custom RTMP address into VidPresso. First thing we're going to do is over here on Destination. First thing we're going to do is over here how to input a custom RTMP address into VidPresso.
One thing it's going to ask you for is your live stream key, which I'm going to show you guys how to get that right now. So what you're going to do is go to Twitch's website, twitch.tv, and this is what you're going to see. you're going to want to go over to, you're going to log into your account, and you're going to go to dashboard. I'm sorry about the audio in the background. You're going to want to go to dashboard. And then what you're going to want to do is go all the way over to stream key, click on it, and you're going to want to show key. You're going to copy it, and you're going to paste it into XSplit when it tells you to. I would show mine, but I can't. Like, that's bad. You don't want anybody to see your stream key because then they can stream to your account. All right, so that's covered. Now you're going to go to broadcast, and you're going to want to, it's going to be up here. Like if you just added it, it's going to be this one. This is the primary one that I use. And you want to hit settings right here, this little setting box. And you're going to want to pop this overlay because it's on top of it so you can see it. Just like your capture card. If your capture card's all the way up here, you're not going to see any of your title stuff. So you got to make sure your game capture card or your gameplay is on the bottom. That's the basics. I can also go over how to make overlays and do that. But for the time being, guys, just get your stream up and running. And you can do templates for titles up here. Like you can find them on Google. A quick Google search, you'll find it. But I can do another episode on that. But let me get into the meat and potatoes of what is the difficult part of live streaming. And this is where a lot of people are probably tuning in to find out. So you're going to want to go add channel, and you're going to pick Twitch or whatever your
In this video, we're looking at how to set up a private RTMP server for live streaming with OBS and Nginx. Now, the first thing I want to do is do a quick overview of what exactly is going to be happening here, because this was pretty confusing to me in the beginning. And we're looking at how to set up explanations of private RTMP, what exactly is going on. So live streaming with OBS and on your computer at home. Now you have the first thing I want to do OBS installed, and you're playing a game or doing something. And so OBS is going to capture and encode the video. We're looking at how to set up explanations. OBS is installed on live streaming OBS and inside your live streams directly to the RTMP servers. OBS is installed, and so it sends the live stream out to the server. OBS on the server. OBS is not written there. We're looking at Nginx. Because OBS is live stream, and once RTMP servers, OBS is installed, and so it sends the live stream out to the server. OBS on the server. OBS is not written there. We're looking at Nginx.
You want to add your IP cam to your stream, I think. You can simply use it by adding a media source. We have a media source. And you uncheck local file. Then you input your IP of your you want to stream your IP cam to your stream. In my case, you can simply use it by adding a media source. And check local file. Then you input your
Hi, I'm Elliot Miller, and welcome to this video tutorial from the cast. In this video, we'll be explaining how to use the encoder OBS with our service. Open Broadcaster software is a very powerful tool. It's free to download and has a wonderful community that drives it forward. However, as a community-driven, free, open software, it is not as user-friendly as some of the paid services out there. I bring this up because as files and create a new one. And I've got the correct audio and microphone devices, and I don't think I need to add any boost. Okay, now let's look at broadcast settings.
And simply by entering their URL to OBS by using this plugin, and simply by entering their URL in the path right here. One thing I have to mention is, first of all, Twitch TV doesn't allow this, does not allow this, and it's a bit more complicated to add a Twitch stream to your own stream. So in most cases, you would want to use a local Nginx server or an Nginx server, for example, or a Wowser, Red 5, or a similar server. Or you may know an internet on the internet available RTMP stream you may want to add. And in this case, you would have to find out if you can do this just by testing. So just have to find out if your server
Can't afford an expensive capture card like an Elgato or something like that. Well, OBS recently released a plugin that should help with that. Stay with me. So streaming on a budget is something that a lot of people want to do, and it's really popular. Game streaming is a huge business right now. But streaming at the highest quality, there's a lot of factors involved. A single computer as your stream PC and your game PC, well, you'll suffer some issues, FPS slowdowns, things like that, maybe even issues with the stream if you try to do it all in one. Some computers can do that, especially things that have more cores. You can get away with an i7 for doing that, but if you go to 6 cores or 8 cores, Ryzen or Intel, however you want to cut it, it's going to do a lot better. But other options exist out there. Now, the normal option that most popular streamers use is a capture card, but capture cards that could do 1080p or higher at
Hello everyone, my name is Adam Box, and welcome back to another OBS multi-platform or OBS Studio at a glance tutorial. I've been covering this software very in-depth in a series of videos. The playlists for these videos will be in the description below, and I highly recommend you go through them to find out everything you need to know about OBS multi-platform or OBS in general in more in-depth. However, I'm going to be doing a shortened version of just a quick let's get start to finish streaming on Twitch in this video. And in this video, we are covering twitch.tv live streaming. Now, there are a couple links you're going to want to be aware of. First of all, to download OBS multi-platform.
It's time for Nerdgasm. Hey, what's up, guys? Jerry here, aka Barnacles. And in this episode of Tech Tip, I will be showing you how to set up your very first live stream on either the Twitch TV or YouTube live streaming networks. Now, this doesn't require any prior knowledge of how to live stream, and we will be working with a software package that is completely free and open source even. So if you cannot figure out how to set up a live stream at the end of this tutorial, then I am a horrible teacher. Now, there are a lot of different software packages that you can use for live streaming. Stuff like XSplit, the built-in NVIDIA experience. You can also use Steam, even has live streaming capabilities, but they're all severely limited in the personalization of that live stream, and they're more just focused towards just streaming the gameplay and your voice. And there's some other elements that I like to add to that. So my favorite software that I use is called Open Broadcaster Software, and it's actually add as many webcams as you want. Now, we're going to go ahead and leave the audio input device to disabled, but if you were using the internal microphone on the webcam, you could select it directly. But we're going to leave that disabled because I'm actually using a microphone plugged in through USB. Okay, let's go ahead and hit push OK. Hey, look, I'm back. So let's say that I want a scene where it's just me. So when I'm doing my live stream, let's say during game loading menus and stuff, I just want you guys to see me. I will set up this scene as just that. So we're going to go ahead and rename scene, just so I know what it is. And we're just going to say full webcam. Doesn't matter. You can type in whatever you want. And now I'm going to create a new scene. I'm going to right click on this box, say add another scene, and we're going to call this gameplay with webcam. So now I have two scenes in my project. So you can see gameplay with webcam has nothing. Full webcam has me. See? Nothing. And I can switch between them while I'm live streaming, which is really cool. All right, so now I want to add a source. So we're going to go ahead and add my webcam again. So go to video capture devices. we'll just do webcam again. You can also create something called a global source so you can keep reusing it so you don't have to go through this whole process over and over again. But for the sake of this demonstration, I'm just going to do it. Now, there's another button called Edit Scene. When you click Edit Scene down here at the bottom of the screen, you get a light red box around the video. And what this allows you to do is drag it and resize it. So now I can put my video down here if I want. I can put my video up here if I want. But then we just got a black screen back here. So we actually need some gameplay now. So let's go ahead and open a game. I'm going to open up Castle Crashers. Okay, now before I start the game, I'm going to hold down the Alt key and press Enter, which is going to make the game go into a windowed mode. Now, you can also Alt Tab out of the game, but I find this method works best. Now we're going to go ahead and get OBS back up on the screen, and we're going to add a source. We're going to right-click inside Sources and say Add Game Capture, and we're going to call this Castle Crashers. And you can see it already knows that Castle Crashers is the game that's focused, the last thing that I use. So I'm going to go ahead and just click OK. And now you can see that Castle Crashers is actually inside the box. You see that? It's running in the background, and it's running in my broadcaster. Now, my webcam got overwritten. You can see because Castle Crashers is at the top of Sources. So I'm going to click on Webcam. I'm going to right-click and say Order and say Move Up. And there's my webcam again. So now I actually have a webcam on top of the scene. Now, a cool tip that I want to show you guys is if you hold down, you have to be in the Edit Scene mode. So see this little Edit Scene button down here? You want to make sure you're in the Edit Scene mode. You're going to hold down the Alt key and grab the edge, and you can drag it in. See how I'm cropping it? It's not resizing it, it's cropping it. So if you hold the Alt key, you can do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop it in on that side. I'm going to hold the Alt key and drag it on the other side. Hold the Alt key down here at the bottom, drag that up a little bit. And what I'm doing is just trying to get as much of my face in there as possible without the surrounding information. That way we're just not taking up a lot of the screen real estate. So this is probably the default live stream that most of you guys see. And what I can do is during loading screens, I can go ahead and just click full webcam, and it'll switch back to me in full frame. Now, I apologize for the lag, guys. Again, I'm doing this on a VM. On your computer, it's not going to be that laggy. So now I can talk to you guys, I can talk to the audience, I can field questions while things are loading, and then when the game is ready to go again, I just click on Gameplay with Webcam, and it'll go back to that scene. See, here I am. Now, obviously, when you're inside of a game and playing it, it's going to be options in here, but the most important one for live streaming down here is the one you can't see. This is your stream key. Now, what you have to do is click the reveal button, which I'm not going to do, because if I show you guys my stream key, that gives you access
OBS Studio. Coming up next on Tech Gumbo. To get OBS Studio onto, I'll go over the two that are used most often. If you plan to record websites or any other software on your computer, this one, the way that OBS looks. I personally prefer the dark theme.
It's time for Nerdgasm.
Hey, what's up, guys? Jerry here, aka Barnacles, and in this episode of Tech Tip, I will be showing you how to set up your very first.
In this OBS Studio tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make your live streams look awesome, and we're starting right now. What is going on? My name is Nick. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your channel, make videos, and all types of other YouTube related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. You're going to love this. I'm not going to waste any time. Let's go to the computer. Okay, so now that we're at the computer, I'm going to show you how to take a boring looking scene like this and make it into something like this, where you can have chat on it, to where you can do like video transitions and things like that. You can also do it to where you add tickers, to where you have like a little sidebar to where you're doing like a split screen, and you can transfer everything back and forth. Super easy, and it can be cool with the transitions as well. Of course, you wouldn't want to use transitions as heavy as I just did, but I'm just showing you the example of what it is that I'm going to be showing you. So the first thing that we need to do in order to get all of this stuff rolling is we need to go up to the scene selection or scene collection and select new, and that's going to blank everything out. As soon as I do this, it's going to remove my webcam. So I'm going to add that in as well and show you how to do that also. So for this, I'm just going to call this TB demo. And as you can see, it took away my webcam, so I'm going to go ahead and add that by adding a capture device. And I'm just going to call that webcam. and that will get us taken care of there. Now, as you can see, when it first came on, it's really zoomed in and blown up. And on yours, if you see it and it comes in like this, all you have to do to fix that is you just change the resolution down here to custom, and then you change it to the actual frame size that you're going to be going out at. In my case, it's 1920 by 1080. And then I hit OK, and then as you can see, it brings everything, you know, to the normal ratio. So once I have that in place, this is going to be my blank starting point. So once I have that in place, I'm going to go down to my scenes down here in the bottom left-hand side of the screen, and I'm going to choose rename. And then for this one, I'm just going to change this to main plane. And then that tells me anytime I click on this, anytime I transition to this, no matter what, it's just going to be a plain thing that's happening, just me right here on the screen. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to build onto this. So I'm going to duplicate it here. I'm going to right click on main plane, and I'm going to hit duplicate. And then I'm going to do main with a ticker. And then what that gives me the ability to do is add additional sources over here. So I have one scene here that nothing else is going to be on. And then this one here is going to be all of the ticker graphics to make the actual ticker that goes along the bottom of the screen. So here I'm going to click plus. I'm going to go to image. I'm going to do ticker BG for ticker background. And when I do that, it's going to ask me where the file is. So here I'm going to click on ticker BG, hit OK. And then there you can see this graphic that is now showing up at the bottom of my screen. Now, how this is going to work is it's going to be this graphic, and then I'm going to have a layer of text. And then after that layer of text, then I'm going to have a covering graphic as well. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to hit plus, and then I'm going to add that covering graphic right now. So I'm going to do ticker top. And I'm going to grab this. Now, as you can see right here, when I pull this in, if you look at this little area right here, you can see it's transparent. Okay, so basically what's happening here is this is going to allow the text to show up to appear behind this and then disappear into this side as well while keeping the TubeBuddy logo in there. So I'm going to hit OK. Now with this, just so you know what's going on, is all of this stuff that I'm showing you right now, I actually built this for TubeBuddy for the stream that I do there. So if you want to learn even more YouTube stuff, I'm going to put a link to the TubeBuddy channel. You can definitely head over to them because me and other YouTube experts are over there, you know, sharing information to help you grow your channels as well. So the next thing that we want to do is I'm going to actually click on the little lock icon for all three of these. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to have to move the text around once I get it in here. So if I have these locked, then I can click anywhere on the screen, move anything that I want, and nothing is going to be selected or moved. So it's just kind of like a fail-safe. Click on plus, and I'm going to go to text. And then here, I'm just going to make sure that says text. And then here, I'm going to put in just anything for the sake of the demo. And then once I have what it is that I'm going to be saying in the text, you can see it right up here at the top. You can see it's kind of small, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into select font. And in this case, I'm actually going to find the fonts that I was using. This is a really cool thing about OBS is it lets you select different fonts. So you can make sure that, you know, things are matching up to your branding and all of that. So I'm going to select a different font. I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to click OK on this as well. Once I have that in place, then I can grab the text and I can bring it down. Now, as you can see, it's really small right now. So on a mobile device, this would be pretty much impossible to read. So I'm going to grab one of these corners and I'm just going to start moving it. And as you can see, that's going to scale that text up, make it a little bit bigger and a little bit easier to read. From there, I'm going to just bring it down the screen. And then because I have this selected, I can just tap on the arrow buttons to kind of fine tune it as far as getting it into the right place that I want it to be. And then as you can see over here in the sources section, this is at the very top, and it's covering up the TubeBuddy logo, and it's just not very flattering right now. So in order to fix that, what I have to do is I have to take the text and I have to bump it down a notch. And then now I've got that nice looking fade going in and out. So my text comes in, fades back out, the logo's still there, and everything still looks nice, neat, and clean. So what I'm going to do now is I need to make that text move. So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go to filters. Here, I'm going to click on the plus sign, and then I'm going to click on scroll. And then here, I want to show you this real quick. Let me move this over to here. So when I move this horizontal speed, you can see the text is going to start to move. Now, I can make it really fast to where, you know, people are reading it really fast and all that, or I can slow it down, make it something a little bit more reasonable. In this case, I'm going to go with like a 31. That's fine. So it's still coming along. It's still moving along, but it's not so much that it's ridiculously distracting. So once I have that speed, I'm going to hit close. And then as you can see, the ticker is going to be flowing along there nicely during any time that I want that to show. So now we have two scenes. We have the main plane, and then we have the main ticker, okay? So the next thing that we want to do is we're going to duplicate that main plane again, and I'm going to call this one cam with chat, okay? Now with this one, we're going to do that same exact thing. I'm going to go to the plus, and I'm going to add an image here, and this is going to be, I'm just going to call this in background because there's not a lot that's going to be happening in this scene. So I'm going to find that, and I'm going to bring it in. Now, as you can see right here, the area that I have right here, it's already taken away. So I saved this image here out of Photoshop as a transparent PNG. Okay, so basically I removed the background layer so that I could save it so I'd be able to see through this. Now, another option that I would have had was to make the same graphic, but actually put a square on the screen in this area and then grab my picture or my video image there and scale it down and try to fine tune it to make sure that everything is in the right place and the right size. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to lock this background so I'm not clicking on it. I'm going to click on the webcam. And then now you can see when I move this, because I have that area transparent, it doesn't have to be perfect. I can just move it in, kind of scoot it into place, and then fine tune it a little bit with my arrow keys. And then there we go. I don't have to spend a ton of time sitting there trying to make everything match up. And in addition to that, I also get a little bit of a drop shadow over here to kind of give it a little bit of an additional look, so to speak. Now, the next thing that we want to do is something that I get asked about a ton, and that is showing the chat on the screen, because we have to put in this little area over here so that viewers can see the live chat for this particular scene when we show this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring my live streaming page over. I'm going to show you how to do this. When you go to your live streaming page on YouTube, you click here, and then you click on Pop Out Chat. When you do that, they're going to give you a URL up here at the top. You want to copy that, and then you can close it. And then after you close that, you can actually just move that right out of the way or close the window or whatever, and it's okay because you have that URL. And then I'm going to bring it in. Now, as you can see right here, the area that I have right here, it's already taken away. So I saved this image here out of Photoshop as a transparent PNG. Okay, so basically I removed the background layer so that I could save it so I'd be able to see through this. Now, another option that I would have had was to make the same graphic, but actually put a square on the screen in this area and then grab my picture or my video image there and scale it down and try to fine tune it to make sure that everything is in the right place and the right size. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to lock this background so I'm not clicking on it. I'm going to click on the webcam, and then now you can see when I move this, because I have that area transparent, it doesn't have to be perfect. I can just move it in, kind of scoot it into place, and then fine tune it a little bit with my arrow keys, and then there we go. I don't have to spend a ton of time sitting there trying to make everything match up. And in addition to that, I also get a little bit of a drop shadow over here to kind of give it a little bit of an additional look, so to speak. Now, the next thing that we want to do is something that I get asked about a ton, and that is showing the chat on the screen, because we have to put this little area over here so that viewers can see the live chat for this particular scene when we show this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring my live streaming page over. I'm going to show you how to do this. When you go to your live streaming page on YouTube, you click here, and then you click on Pop Out Chat. When you do that, they're going to give you a URL up here at the top. You want to copy that, and then you can click. Perfect. I can just move it in over here to kind of give it a look. I'm going to show you how to do this. When you go to your live streaming page on YouTube, you click here, and then you click on Pop Out Chat.